Yo, good fellas, we are back. It's your boy Dougie. I got A-Wheel 5, fellas. How you feeling?
Wonderful.
Wonderful, huh? Yeah.
How my man's Future said, sensational.
You look like Future. Hey, yo, we got a lot going on today. Championship Sunday. Happy MLK Day to everybody out there. Go ahead, man. You look like you got a lot to say.
I don't have anything to say. I'm just
man.
waiting. I was 2-0 this week, you know. I was 2-0. I'm just going to call it out there. It's 2-0.
That was the closest 2-0. I was 0-2.
You were.
I was 1-1.
It could have went either way.
You were 0-2.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's all right.
I was still cool with my picks. Like, I'm still cool with my picks, though.
$100 up, you know.
It happens, man.
When you gonna give him his money?
Oh, I got it last
Come on, man. I don't do that.
I got it last
night. It's coming straight.
Yeah, right to him.
Yeah, right to him. You know what I'm saying?
I think you was ready to give him to him anyway.
He was.
Once OT hit and I saw that the Patriots got that coin toss, it was...
You started to get that quick pay ready.
Yeah, it was... I ain't quick, man. It was straight cash. Straight cash.
Oh, you was watching it with him?
No,
man. No. Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash. We did a little celebrating last night.
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
We did a little celebrating.
So you celebrated with the man and he just took your money?
Yeah. It was a birthday celebration, too.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, bro. Like...
You look like a disappointed father.
I don't hate Tom Brady, though. I don't hate him.
Obviously.
That's like if the Colts would have won, I would have made a bet with you. I would still like.
No, I wouldn't want to celebrate with you. First of all,
you would have though.
You would.
You would have.
It wouldn't have been as sweet.
It was cool.
If I celebrate my team winning and I win a bet with you, I want to get a throw it in your face.
But you can't. You are throwing it in his face.
You can, but like
not really, because he was partying with you, smiling.
Well, you know, I mean,
that'll be the last time I do that against Brady. That was stressful. Yeah. First and the last.
Try to tell you, don't bet against Brady.
But let's not act.
That's a little Jamar show, you know.
Let's not act like that game didn't come down to like, a couple of plays, stupid plays, bad calls, before overtime even happened.
Bad call.
Yeah, bad call. There was a lot of bad calls both games yesterday.
All right.
Matter of fact, let's just get right into it. Saints Rams. Oh my God! Shout out to anybody in Vegas, man. 26-23. Rams win. Of course, everybody knows. Was that third down? Pass interference, not called. Would have changed the entire game. First down, Saints would have been able to run that ball, the clock down to about 15 seconds.
Did the Rams have any time?
Yeah, one time out.
Okay, yeah.
They'd have been able to get it down to 15 seconds.
You know what? I don't know if the Saints would have did the right thing with the ball. Sean Payton, sometimes he makes bad decisions. Because even when they were there, I don't know why they threw that quick slant to Michael Thomas when they were in position. And then for them to even go back and throw the ball again, like you're in position to kick a field goal. And I believe at that time they were down? No, they were down 3. So they were going for the win. So,
Well, when that pass interference?
Yeah, when the pass interference happened, I understand going for the touchdown, but, you got to take the safe throw. And if you go back and watch the film, if you go back and watch the game, watch that play over, if the cornerback was actually playing the ball, he could have picked it off and ran it in for a pick 6. So the Saints actually, in that moment, yes, it should have been a pass interference. It should have been helmet to helmet. Whatever they wanted to, they could have threw the flag and just called anything. It should have been that. But the Saints actually dodged the bullet. Because if he was playing his principle, man and ball, all he had to do was turn around, that ball would have been right there in his hands.
He was clueless.
He just wanted to hit the guy.
But you got to call that.
You got to.
You got to call that.
When first thing when he did it, what I thought was like, man, that was an NFL blitz play. He wasn't playing the ball. He didn't know where the ball was.
That was bad.
It was bad.
That was bad.
He is probably one of the luckiest players in the world right now, because that should have been called. It should have been. We should be saying it the other way. We should be talking about him today.
Yeah.
Like, and we're talking about how bad of a play that is.
Yeah.
And their safety had just made a dumb play before that. Joyner had allowed the deep ball, didn't even go for the ball.
Didn't even go. No, he went for it. He went for it.
He went for it
It was like
a puppy. He went for it like a puppy. Like a puppy.
He thought he was there by himself. Like, oh, this is mine.
Oh my God! Like it was flag football or something. But they escaped though.
Yeah, they escaped. They took advantage overtime. They, Drew Brees threw a pick.
That wasn't on Breeze though. He got hit as he was throwing the ball. That's one of those plays where you gotta live with the results. Like sometimes you get hit like that when you're throwing the ball and it doesn't get intercepted. Majority of the time you get hit like that, you're gonna throw a duck, it gets intercepted. It was that interception. I'm not gonna say it was lucky, but that interception was. Dude was laying on his back and it just fell right on him. Like he was in the right spot at the right place at the right time.
Man, and it just goes back to what we were saying last week. The Saints hadn't been playing good football,
but they started off well yesterday.
They got off to a fast start.
They lost the game in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Settled for 3 twice.
Off of
deep
those.
into the red zone.
And usually early in the regular season, those have been touchdowns.
And you called it. You said that they need to get out to a fast start. When they get a touchdown, a stop, and they get another touchdown, and then
Start
the Rams
taking that
are playing behind.
Mm-hmm.
They could not do it, and they just couldn't do it. They got their first drive was spectacular.
Yeah.
That first drive was spectacular. For them to end that drive in 3 was ridiculous. They turn around, get a turnover deep into the Rams territory, and had to settle for 3 again. So that's the game right there.
So we can say the Saints played bad, or we can give kudos to the Rams defense, which I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this one. But I said it, having to lead and Peters, them being able to stay on their side, not necessarily have to travel. Michael Thomas had 7 targets. He had 4 catches, 36 yards, no touchdowns. And we knew that was their go-to guy. Like that's Drew Brees' go-to guy. And when you don't have your main weapon, it's not much that you can do.
Yeah, but yesterday was it was a Kamara.
Kamara had
it was Kamara day.
It was a Kamara. It was a Kamara day, but it was a Kamara day by the Rams design. Because you still have to find a way when this is the game that goes to the Super Bowl. You gotta find a way. The Saints were looking for a way for Michael Thomas to get the ball. They were.
I don't know. They came out throwing the ball to Kamara early and often, and they were finding the mismatches. They could not match up with him at all. I don't care what linebacker was on him. They could not match up with him. They had a hard time matching with him the first time too.
Yeah.
So they obviously were seeking that out, and Breeze missed him a couple times too.
Yeah.
Breeze missed him on a couple routes, and he should have had some bigger games than that actually. But it is what it is. The Rams defense did play well.
They play really good.
We know they're talented. It's not like, this is a surprise. With all the acquisitions that they made in the offseason, this is why they made them. To play quarterbacks like Breeze, to play quarterbacks like Brady, and they're hoping that it propels them to a Super Bowl victory.
So I do want to give credit because my thing was if they were playing from behind, they got off to that fast start, I didn't think Goff would be able to get it done.
Yeah.
Goff was huge.
Spectacular.
And not even huge as far as maybe not necessarily gaudy touchdown numbers, but he made some big conversions, third down, plays when they needed him the most. He stepped up.
We talked about Gurley all season,
Yeah.
and he was by far the best offensive player on the field for
Man.
the Rams on Sunday.
He stepped up. Gurley played absolutely putrid yesterday.
4 carries, 10 yards.
Is he hurt?
They didn't even play him down the stretch.
Is he hurt?
He's hurt. He's hurt.
He was stretching, and they asked him. Of course, he's not going to say he's hurt. They're in the Super Bowl. You don't want to give an edge to your opponent, but he's hurt.
He was hurt.
He's hurt.
But you know what? I'm gonna give Gurley some credit, man. He actually owned up to it. He said I was playing like crap, and he said his teammates carried him, and he said he owed his teammates one. You don't necessarily hear a lot of players on his level say things like that.
But that team's kind of done it all year, though. When they play bad, they've had players say flat out, "I play bad." I guess that's just the type of culture that they have in the locker room, which is good. But some of the stuff that he did was just awful.
Yeah.
Like the interception was his fault.
Yep.
Like if they scored 7 right there, that's on him.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily the defense had his back and they were able to get it together. But I mean, he had one more drop that was just bad. Man. It was just bad.
He did make up for it with that touchdown going into
The damage had been done by golf already. At that
Man.
point, all you gotta do is just punch it in the end zone.
That's true.
yeah. Man, was that the worst non-call in playoff history? Is it?
So I don't want to live in the moment right now and say yes. But in this moment, yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
But I think I got to go back and look at some other like blatant non. Maybe I think the worst one, like this was bad, but I think the worst one was that catch no catch with Dez Bryant.
Oh,
So,
that was
That was god awful.
That was
Like,
horrible.
that was
That was bad.
that was horrible.
Calvin Johnson one.
Was it playoffs though?
Was that the playoffs?
Nah.
No, that was
Oh, no, that was first game.
Yeah,
First game.
Yeah.
What about the tuck rule?
Oh man, no, he tucked the ball, brother.
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with you?
That was actually the first play they brought up on Sports Center. They talked about that.
Yeah.
Tuck the ball, brother.
And even Brady
What's wrong with
said
y'all?
that was a fumble. It's okay to admit it now. Man.
Hey.
That was a fumble, bro.
Hey, that's one.
It's okay. Brady said it. I mean, you can't take it back.
Hey man, listen.
They started their dynasty.
That's what it was. He didn't fumble.
But Steven Jackson.
I was just getting ready to say
Jackson
that.
had a great quote. On
Just
Instagram.
getting ready to say that.
He said, championship teams always are going to catch a break or two. Like,
Oh yeah,
no matter,
definitely catch a break.
no matter how you play it, like somewhere down the road, like a championship team is going to get a break that they
Absolutely.
probably weren't supposed to get. I mean, it was a great quote. It made it 800%. And then he said that when he played for the Spurs, Dirk Nowitzki got hurt in one of the series.
Yeah.
He said, "You think that we weren't happy that Dirk Nowitzki got hurt?" He
Yeah.
said, "You got to be shitting me." We were excited, but at the same time, we felt bad for him. But yeah, it was a great quote though. Great quote.
So, yeah, man. It's all right, man. You can admit it.
Man, listen, I don't.
So we got the Rams in the Super Bowl. Nice big. What Marcus Peters wanted that gumbo. Big gumbo.
He said
He
he
said
don't
he
eat
like
gumbo. Goulash. With a little scrimp in there.
Shout out to LA though, man. The city is jumping right now.
Yeah. CYG said, "Birdman, pay me."
Birdman ain't paying him.
The city is jumping right now, man. Lakers, Rams, they got it all right now. Man.
Yeah, the Dodgers was just in the World Series.
Yeah, it's jumping over there, man.
We're going to take it to the AFC Championship. Now, man, 37-31.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots advance to another Super Bowl. Many people are not surprised.
You are.
I wasn't surprised.
Good.
I wasn't surprised that the Patriots won.
Oh, okay.
All right. But I definitely like the Chiefs' chances, and they were right there the whole game. All right. And the offsides. Okay. And offsides and another bad roughing the passer call. So let's not act like, y'all dominated and just,
The Chiefs had 0 points in the first half. I'm just gonna start throwing out stats as they go.
All right, 0 points in the first half. What else?
Come on, keep going.
What else?
What else? Keep going.
What else? No, keep going.
Keep going. So you want to talk about the
The first half.
Skills still scored 31 points.
They scored 31 points in a half. Like,
That's cool.
Whether they scored 0 or not.
That's cool.
It's points is points.
Hey, that's cool. The Patriots scored 37.
I mean, yeah.
yeah,
They did.
they won.
Yeah.
What else you got? What insightful knowledge you
Well,
got?
we're gonna talk. Are we gonna talk about the non-pass interference call on Eric Berry up the sideline when he's all over Rob Gronkowski's back? No, we're not gonna talk about that.
Talk about that.
What about Philip Dorsett in the end zone? We're not gonna call it pass interference on that. Just because he caught it, don't mean it wasn't pass
But
interference.
that was pass interference.
I mean,
That was
so
definitely pass interference.
we're gonna talk about that.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
He caught it. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You still gotta throw the flag if he doesn't catch it. This is the thing.
They probably throw the
And that's the thing.
late flags all year.
That's the thing that I hate the most. If you're going to say that you want them to be consistent, right? So if you're mad about, I'm gonna even go back to the other game. If you're mad about the roughing the passer, right? Because think about it, the referees are still human in a sense, right? And so if you see a person's hand by somebody's face and you see the head motion, you're automatically gonna think he got hit in the head, right? So you're gonna throw the flag to be more so wrong, like you can admit I was wrong, rather than not calling it, and it ended up deciding the game.
I don't agree with that at all.
So let me ask this. Let me ask this. Are you mad? So are you mad that if the Rams, let's say the Rams lost, and we've all seen the face mask that wasn't called when Jared Goff was running to the end zone, do we go back to that play and say, oh, if they call a face mask and Jared Goff punches it in, or the Rams score at that time, that changed the outcome of the game?
You could. I mean, people can do. I mean, you could.
But that's what I'm saying. I would rather. So for me, to me, I'd rather you throw the flag and be wrong, just like any sport. I'd rather you call a foul, call a penalty, whatever, and be wrong than to not call it, and that decides an outcome of the game.
Nah, I'm not okay with that. You as a ref are taught to your position on the field a certain way so you can see certain things, and you should be able to see them. And don't call something if you have any doubts. If you have doubts about something, they do that in basketball. They do it in every sport. They do it in baseball with strikes. Like, if you have some doubt, just don't call it. Like, just don't call it. Like, because you're gonna look like an a-hole if it didn't happen. Like, and that's what these refs do. That's what the refs did.
But it's human.
Well, you can call it human.
Just me.
I mean, I get it, but bad calls is bad call. These refs on all sports levels have been terrible all across the board.
Are we going to talk about the pass interference that they gave when the Chiefs, after the Patriots scored and the game was 31-28? Yeah, and they going down the field and they call it pass interference on J.C. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Are we mad at that pass interference? No,
I thought it was pass interference.
that was not.
I thought that was a bad call.
That was a horrible call.
I thought it was a makeup call too.
But again, you can't have it both ways. I can't say, oh, I messed up. Because I threw this flag. Now I'm gonna give it back to him.
It's a makeup call.
Because so
They happen all the time.
So now again, the Chiefs go down, they kick the field goal.
Yeah.
What if the Chiefs get the ball first and they score and the Patriots don't get to touch it? Is anybody gonna say, "Oh, that pass interference was a bad call"?
Yeah, they're gonna say it. Yes.
That would have been
the topic.
Top of the topic.
Yes. These refs have been terrible.
I'm not arguing that the refs are terrible.
That's what I'm
I'm just
saying.
saying again, I'm gonna give y'all. I thought it was a bad call, but I'm not mad that they called it. I'm not mad that they call it because I'd rather you call it and be wrong than to not call it and then decide the outcome of the game. And that's how I feel about the Rams and the Saints. Them not calling that, yes, to me, it decided the outcome of the game. Yes.
I mean, refs can be bad. If you throw it, if you don't, you're supposed to get the call right. If it's not a call, like, don't throw it. That's part of you. That's part of your job.
But it's always a judgment call. That's the thing that we are forgetting. Some of these things are judgment calls.
I mean, either way it go with both teams, even with those bad calls, the Rams had a chance. I mean, the Saints had a chance to win in overtime. They didn't. The Chiefs didn't have a chance.
I mean, the Chiefs did have a chance. All they had to do was they stopped it.
They had 3 third downs.
They had 3 third downs in overtime.
Right.
And the Patriots ran the same play 2 times, and then the third time, all they did was ran a play for their 2 primary targets.
You gonna give Mahomes some credit? That's what I'm waiting on. Brady asked us to meet with him after the game.
Yeah, Brady gave him
credit. Yeah, you gonna give him some credit?
You keep waiting on it. I ain't giving him.
You gonna keep hating on the MVP of the league?
I'll say this though. I'm gonna say this. I am gonna say this. I am gonna say this. And I'm gonna pat myself on the back, right? So, I'm gonna say this. Mahomes did step up because, like I said, the Patriots, Bill Belichick, would make somebody else have to beat them. He was going to make somebody else have to beat them. And he did that. Travis Kelce had 3 catches for 26 yards. Tyreek Hill had 1 catch for 42 yards. So for everybody that was on Facebook talking about the Patriots going to get blown out by 40, they couldn't stop Tyreek Hill, they couldn't control Travis Kelce, they can't do this, they can't do that. I told y'all, they was going to make somebody else beat them. Mahomes did do enough to put his team in position to win. I don't know how the voting goes for the MVP. Like when they submit their vote or whatever. It's been submitted. But if I was a voter and I watched Breeze yesterday and I watched Mahomes, my vote might have changed.
I mean, Mahomes did what he's been doing all year.
No, my vote might have changed because he legit had to will his team to those 31 points.
Yeah.
Like that was him.
Williams played big too, though.
He did. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
Watkins
was big. Yeah.
Watkins was a big play wide receiver yesterday.
Four
I will
catches.
say though, we give Mahomes a lot of credit, but I think he actually blew the game.
How?
I think in the first half, they had a great drive to end the half, and he takes a sack, a 14-yard loss to drive them out of field goal range, and they were not able to at least attempt the field goal to make it to put those 3 points on the board. And to me, I called it when it happened. I say, listen, you're gonna have to revisit those 3 points that they just left on the board, and that last drive, instead of them going for the win, they were going for the tie. And if you really think about it, if the second half plays out the same way it played out, that last drive, they are going for the win and not the tie. And leaving those 3 points off the board really hurt them. It really hurt them, even though they came down in the second half and scored right away. But those 3 points were big. Like, in a game like that, like, that's a big play. That's a big play. You can't take a sack right there. I mean, every good quarterback should know that. Like, you gotta throw it away, or you gotta get the ball out of your hands. Like, one of the two. And he didn't do that. He took a 14-yard sack.
So you think that's what cost him the game?
I think, yeah. Just think
about
about it.
Offsides penalty, man.
Just think about it, right? Like, if they have those 3 points, we're talking about a tie game with a minute 15 left instead of them down 3. All right? So now they're going for the win. And if he's able to put together the same type of drive that he did to tie the game, that field goal is for the win. Like, it's not for, we're not even talking about OT at this point. We're talking about them actually winning the game. So those 3 points were huge to me. And I said it when it happened. I was like, man, you can't take a sack right there, man. Like, and Romo said it too. Romo said it too. Hey, he was like, whatever you do, you gotta get out your hands. I understand there was pressure right there, but you gotta get out your hands.
I don't know if I can blame him when the game came down to an offsides. I just can't.
The offsides was done too. I mean, especially when you line up in a neutral.
They got an interception. The game was over. The game is over. He doesn't line up offside. So I get what you're saying. It makes 100% sense, but I can't put the blame on him when he got the team in position to win, and then all you needed, the defense came through with an interception, and you got Big Dum Dum lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it was just an awful penalty too.
That's what happens. When you get nervous, you get too excited.
Yeah. I don't know. He
was excited.
He just
You on y'all payroll?
Oh, you know.
You on y'all payroll?
He just
didn't have a clue where he was on the field.
Yeah, like, you gotta look at the ball.
Yeah.
It's third and whatever. You gotta look at the ball.
And it wasn't 2 fingers either. I mean,
no, it's overarm.
It's overarm over the line. Like, you know,
sitting there.
Yeah, he just didn't have a clue where he was on the field. I mean, it probably was loud in there too. The Patriots had the ball, so I'm sure it was loud in there. So,
I do want to say though, for anybody that's watching, if you have any doubts about who's the greatest quarterback of all time, don't argue it. Like, don't. You don't have an argument anymore. Like, they have one. Like,
I think what defined his greatness was when the Chiefs went ahead in the game, right? And they're showing the crowd. They show Belichick, and then they're like, Tom is going to get a chance to get a drive here, and they show him on the sidelines. He didn't even look bothered. He's looking like the game was like 0-0 with like in the first quarter with like 10 minutes ago, like in the quarter. Like, he was so calm, and then, normally people are going over there trying to pump up the quarterback, get him ready, give him some dab, nobody's even talking to him. They have so much confidence that he can get it done. Like, it was like clockwork, man. It was just, I mean, he does it time and time again. I mean,
he started off the game with a perfect surgical drive.
Oh, that was perfect.
Surgical.
But they had a plan. You could tell that they
He ended the game
with three drives.
Surgical.
I mean, to be honest with you, the same plays that those first 2 drives that they ran at the end of the game too. They were running the same runs, The same.
No, but they was running the same
runs, but not different
passing.
Different passing. But the same runs. They're attacking the same side every single time, and the Chiefs just.
But it's plain. So here's my thing, right? And I hate when people say Brady's a system quarterback. It's playing to the team's weakness, and that's something Romo pointed out at the beginning of the game. He said the Chiefs were not a good run defense team. The Patriots came out. They looked at how the Chiefs were lined up in the front. They called 2 plays in the huddle. Whatever Brady came up and saw, he either kept the play he originally called or he checked to the second play. Right? That's what he did the entire time. That's just game plan. That's not a system. That's a game plan. I'm going to take your weakness and I'm going to attack that. Even when if you look at overtime, when they were throwing the ball, and Romo kept saying it, like, it's 3rd and 5. They cannot run it no more. You know they got to pass this ball. They went to that play running the ball on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 4, whatever. They went to that enough in the game to make you honor it, right? But now you got to know they're not doing that no more. And the Chiefs still came out. They had a bunch of linemen. They had, 4 or 5 big down linemen playing a run. Tom Brady still was there. Alert. Look, hit his helmet, and he went to work. He went to work.
I think people, when they call him assistant quarterback, they just call him that because he's been in the same system.
But it's not the same. They done had different offensive coordinators.
No, not like that. It's just this. He hasn't had to make adjustments, and
they had to make what adjustments?
When you have the same pretty much staff. I mean, obviously you have different coordinators, but a head coach is going to call the final shots. And I'm not saying he's assistant quarterback. I think it's asinine. I think people who say that are wrong.
It's lazy.
Yeah, so it's a very lazy argument. Absolutely. But I can see what their mindset is. It's the wrong mindset, but I can see why they would say something like that. And obviously people are going to reach for anything they can
go
to bring you down. I mean,
so I'm going to ask this question, Jared, because you always say that dude that wore 18 with the bad neck went to Tennessee.
Peyton Manning.
The great
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that dude. You always call him the GOAT. You still think he's the GOAT?
No, I've said that.
Yeah,
I said that 2 years ago. I mean, I just said it to just mess with you now. But no, I mean, Brady, like I said, he's proven, man. Nothing to say about that. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with Manning being second or being third in anybody's list. I mean, it is what it is. But no, Brady's his longevity still great at 40 plus. So I mean,
to keep going in that bag year in and year out when your team needs you the most,
Man, it's impressive.
It's tough too.
What?
It's gotta be tough. Like people just don't know how tough that is.
Football might be the toughest. It is the toughest. Might be the toughest sport to like go back to the Super Bowl. Like to keep going back. To keep getting to the AFC Championship.
I mean, they're the only team that's had this type of longevity in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So we like Shannon Sharp said, we might not ever see this again.
Never.
But Mahomes got next though. Whenever Buddy right here is done,
Mahomes definitely has.
Mahomes got next.
You know what?
Mahomes got next.
Man,
and he showed that.
So listen, I'm
young too.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm the type of person I wait. I need to see it for at least 3 to 4 years before I jump and say somebody got whatever.
He's got next, bro.
I gotta wait.
He's got next. Whenever that guy is done.
Well, he said 45, so he got 4 more years.
And Mahomes, they knocking on the door. So depending on who they bring back, man, look.
They gotta go out and get a running back. They
got one. Damian Williams is solid.
Yeah,
he was solid.
He's solid.
You can't replace him. You can't replace Hunt with him.
But I don't know if Hunt is.
If you're trying to make the next step.
I don't know if Hunt is a replaceable piece. Like, I'm going to be honest with you.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, they got to be a Hunt. There's guys out there this year. There's guys out there. If they got to move somebody, they got to move somebody.
Because he only rushed for 30 yards. He only had 10 carries, though. But
I'm not saying he's not good. He's been awesome for them, but
they need somebody else.
To get to the next step, yeah, they got to.
They need to work on their
defense. Like
offense isn't the problem.
Man,
like
they
the
fact 31,
and they only had they put up 31 points and they had the ball 21 minutes, so they can score fast. The scoring is not a problem for them. It's being able to stop the other team. It's being able to do something different. Like,
Brady was way too comfortable.
he was way too comfortable.
Way too comfortable. They didn't sack him the whole
I
game.
mean, they were top 5 in sacks though.
Yes, and they didn't sack Brady. They hit him twice.
Yeah, I mean,
They hit him twice.
they protect Brady at all costs. You got to come with more guys than just 4 to get Brady.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the Chiefs, that defense has to get better. It has to get better. Like, I mean, look at all of their big games. So if you look at the Rams, if you look at the Patriots in the regular season, the Patriots now, the Chargers, yeah, those are their losses, right? Because they only had 3.
I believe so.
4.
4? Who was that?
Wait.
Well, that was their
That
fourth
was
loss.
yeah. So.
Yeah.
So if you take that, all of those games were shootouts, and their defense couldn't get a stop. They couldn't get a
That's
stop.
the type of football they want to play though. I mean, that's not saying the defense. The Rams are the same way though. The Rams
But
want to shoot out everybody.
But look at the Rams in the playoffs. Their defense is actually able to get a stop when they need it.
I mean, they were able to get a stop, but they haven't been though.
I mean, so look, if you look at the Rams when they played the Cowboys, they controlled Zeke.
But the Cowboys' offense just sucks. That's
Rams got playmakers.
a different story.
More playmakers on the defensive side.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
More playmakers. They got playmakers.
yeah.
Way more playmakers. So when they weren't playing good up to
They
their
got
potential,
experience, too.
yeah, in the regular season, you knew that they had the talent to kick that in gear in the playoffs. The
But
Chiefs,
the Chiefs got it. I mean, they got Eric Berry, they got Justin Houston, they got Chris Jones.
Barry was hurt for
The majority of the
the majority of the
season.
season, so
Wait, I mean, he was that last night.
He
He might
might.
hang it up.
He was okay, but he could be their leader though. Like you need a guy like that on the field like that all season
yeah.
to be your leader. Like that's why when your defense has no leader, like you're not gonna be good.
So Super Bowl set. Who y'all got?
It's too early.
NATL.
It's too early for me.
Too early?
Yeah, I gotta sit back and
Hey, well, who you got?
Well, I mean, give me 1 second. So my man's right here. I'm going with the Patriots, man. I'm going with the Patriots.
I've been wrong the last 2 years. I had the Patriots winning it last year,
They should have won.
and they lost. They shouldn't have won shit. They got their ass beat. And then I had the Falcons winning it 2 years ago, and then they lost. So I gotta sit back on this one. I gotta take a deeper look into it.
Who you got, Ray?
I'm going with the Patriots.
Oh, look at that. Look at
You
that.
put the Patriots every year. They
I'm going with the Patriots. Yeah, they got a pretty good chance of winning every year, too.
lost some money last year, though, didn't you?
Nah,
Hmm?
I ain't been. I did.
Yeah.
To Gerard.
Yeah.
That was in
Lost some
20.
money.
He found me at the.
He
He found me at the train station. He said, "Hey, what did he say? The ATM right here." I said, "You know what? You're right." He said, "Tell him I'm looking for him too."
Oh, man.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I did. I'm going right back with the Patriots again.
Right back with
I'm
it.
going right back.
I gotta take a look at it. It's a neutral site. Neutral site.
I looked at that. I asked him yesterday. I said, "Man, the last few Super Bowls is in the dome." I said, "They won in the dome before."
Yeah, they won. It's just I gotta take a
Rams
look.
got more playmakers on defense though, so that's going to be interesting.
My thing is, like we just said, can they get pressure on him? They gotta get pressure. They got the guys that can do it too. They got the guys that can do it. Like, see, the teams that have a good chance versus Brady are the teams that have a front four and they just get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like the Broncos, and when the Ravens were really good, like they gave the Patriots troubles. Like
You got
those type of teams give them troubles. I don't know if the Rams front four can do it, but I know they have the talent to do it. I just don't know if they're gonna do it.
So I'm going to give you one thing that you're missing that the Ravens and the Broncos have that the Rams don't have. That's edge rushers.
Yeah.
The Rams' bread and butter is in the middle.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When the Broncos was beat the Patriots, when the Ravens beat the Patriots, they had edge rushers. They was able to collapse the pocket in all facets. Aaron Donald going to get double team, but might even get triple team. And outside of that, you just
They gotta have guys like Fowler. Fowler's gotta step up.
not going to happen.
Like, and Fowler gave them some troubles before. Fowler
Where in Jacksonville?
in Jacksonville.
Asking what's his record against Brady.
I mean, he's still getting them troubles. I mean, the record is record, but
How many
still
sacks he
getting
got
troubles,
against
though.
Brady?
You know, there's. I think, like I said, I think they have the guys that can do it. I just don't know if they're going to do it. I mean, I said it last year. I had it in the bag. I was ready to put some money on the Patriots last year. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, I ain't gonna bet on it. They came out and got their ass beat.
So
And I was so happy I didn't put no money on
if
that.
Brady loses, like he's at the point now where it doesn't tarnish anything.
No.
No.
Well,
I'm just asking, 'cause a lot of people gonna run with that. Oh, he's lost 2 straight Super Bowls.
I mean, of course, but they have nothing else to talk about.
People are gonna run with that narrative. You know it. He's lost 2 straight Super Bowls.
Come on, man. Look, I that win-loss record stuff in the finals and the Super Bowl and championship games. That's for people that are lazy. To me, that's just a lazy.
I think Super Bowls are a little different. I think like if you've been there a bunch of times, like that's an argument where you can be like, okay, he got there. Like he
It's
got
hard to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to get to any
Hard.
championship.
Yeah, but football, like
Football is definitely hard.
Yeah, it's the hardest. It's the hardest. It's one
football is
game
definitely-
playoffs.
you don't even got to be the best team. You just got to be the best team on that day.
If one of your best guys gets hurt,
Man.
like the week before and can't go, like there's no timetable for him to come back or anything.
it's-
It's football is definitely the toughest.
I'd agree with that.
It's up there with college basketball, I would say.
College basketball is definitely
Yeah,
tough.
it's up there with
Yeah.
college basketball.
I don't think we're ever gonna see who was that? That Florida team with Joakim Horford and
Yeah,
Brewer.
they got there twice.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, North Carolina got there twice.
yeah.
They got there twice. Villanova 2 and 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but you see,
rare.
though, we're talking about getting there twice is like a great accomplishment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like so that's how hard it is. And football is the same way. And so for him to get there that many times, like
9 times.
yeah, that's not going to tarnish anything. Like it's just not.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to say about these Pats, man?
Man, I got a lot I could say.
This is your time. Take advantage.
I knew it was gonna happen. I told everybody at the beginning. Everybody asked me at the beginning of the season, the end of the season. Patriots going back to the Super Bowl. I tell you all the time. Yes, as long as number 12 is there, we're going back.
I mean, you should say that. That's your team.
I mean,
You know what? No. Forget all that. What was going through your mind
okay.
when he threw that interception before you even saw the flag? What was? Don't act like you was 110%.
When he threw that when he threw that interception, I was thinking in my mind like, damn,
It's it.
again. Like I just that's what I felt like. Damn, again. Even when he threw that pass to Julian Edelman and it bounced off his hands and Sorensen got, I'm just like, damn, again. Like I feel like it just sometimes there's always something that be like, he can't do it again, and then all of a sudden it's just like you give him a shot. You give him a shot.
So you didn't feel like the season was over with when he threw that pass.
I had no idea what the flag was for.
When I didn't even see a flag.
Maybe
Like
I had no idea.
I didn't even see
You
it.
can see it like in the top little corner of the TV a little bit.
The crazy part about it, I wasn't even in the room when the flag was thrown.
Oh, okay.
So when I came back, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? Like I seen the interception, I'm like, oh, like I'm like,
There was a couple plays, man. That Edelman, that punt return. Let's dive into that real quick. That punt return. What was going to see? That's the reaction.
He didn't touch that though.
I know he didn't.
touch it, but get out the way. Like you tell everybody to get out the way. Get out the way. Don't leave it up for discussions. Like get out the way.
He wanted to catch it, then
He
he just
But
his
get out
mind
the
just
way.
froze. His mind just froze.
No, dude, Edelman been there too long. He's been in too many Super Bowls, too many AFC Championship games to understand that moment and momentum and everything. Get out the way.
that ball?
He tried to kick it up like it was a ground ball.
And he took a bad hop.
Man, it took a
How did it not touch him?
Took a bounce in his
And they showed it from every view. I was like, it got to hit his thumb at some
Yeah,
point.
nah,
Not even close.
Nah.
And I thought the refs was going to get that wrong.
Oh my god.
And we was coming, I'm like, man, the refs been getting stuff wrong all day.
But wait,
The only reason I thought they would get it wrong because of what they call on the field.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna say what they call on the field.
Yeah, man.
But what about the Chris Hogan catch?
That was a good catch.
But again, I thought in that moment, I'm like, I'm sitting at the crib, me and baby watching the game. I look at baby, I said, they about to overturn this. And baby like, nah, bro, that's a good catch. I said, man, they about to overturn this,
That
bro.
was tough too.
That was tough.
I'd say I can call it like they finna overturn this. Like, I ain't gonna lie, when I watch the Patriots, I get nervous. I do. But when you get that 2-legged goat, 2 minutes and 3 timeouts,
Yeah.
listen,
In overtime, I saw somebody say they need to change the rules now.
no, not at all.
Saying if the team scores that gets the ball initially, they need to let the other team.
I think so in the playoffs.
No,
I feel like it don't need to be the same as college. It's called sudden death
for a reason.
I'd rather just see football on. I mean, I'd rather them just go college with in the playoffs, not in the regular season. I don't want to see you play all day in the damn regular season. But in the playoffs, I think the team has done enough. You've won all year long for you to not be able to get a chance to win this game to go to the Super Bowl. I feel like you should at least get a chance. That's just me. That's just me though.
It was funny. Devin McCourty said when they won the coin toss, he was like, "You see, I ran off the field. I knew the game was over."
Yeah.
He said, "As soon as we won,
He didn't even think about who to get the ball to.
he legit like when Matthew Slater said heads and the referee was like heads, he legit ran off the field."
Yeah, you saw it.
We want the ball. Over with.
Over with.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good Super Bowl, man. They started their dynasty
Against the Rams.
So do they go out?
Hey, listen,
Do they retire?
somebody asked me yesterday. I don't know who asked me this yesterday, but somebody asked me yesterday. What if Brady and Bill retire? Like if they win this Super Bowl, what if they retire together? Like they started their dynasty beating the Rams and they end their dynasty beating the Rams. Like what if that would be crazy?
And you know, once Brady leaves, Gronk leaving too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Gronk is gone. He told them last year, y'all trade me, I'm retired.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna retire though. I just think they're gonna keep going.
I don't know.
They also said the Rams bring back the throwbacks too. They win the throwback.
For the Super Bowl?
Yep, they ran the throwbacks.
I don't know if I want to win a throwback.
Don't get too cute,
Because
man.
that throwback got you 1 yard short.
They said they ran the throwback.
Nah, that wasn't when
That was
the
Nah,
Titans.
that was Titans.
Man.
The Titans was 1 yard short.
Yeah,
They actually
Titans
won
won
that
short.
year.
Man, something crazy gonna happen in the Super Bowl too. You know, every year something crazy happens.
I mean, it should. It's a Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl. So it's gonna be something we ain't gonna be able to call, predict. But yeah, I got the pass.
How y'all feel about Brady putting up all these videos? First it was like the 50 Cent with the Mini Man.
Because they were underdogs.
And this one he had the Diddy. We go
Underdogs, man. I think he's enjoying it. I think this
And
Super Bowl.
He's talking a lot.
This Super Bowl, he's enjoying a lot. That game yesterday was probably the toughest championship game AFC championship game he's probably played in.
But this what happens when players get old and have nothing to prove anymore.
GOAT status.
Yeah, I mean, look at LeBron.
Every day.
LeBron's on Twitter every day now. Like when you've already established yourself with the greats, like you can pretty much just do whatever you want to do as long as your work ethic is still there. And that's what players do. I mean, all players do this.
Yeah.
I mean, every single one, every single one. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
I mean, but he's talking. He's more like they said. The man walked in the locker room and was like, "I'm a bad motherfucker."
Hey.
I ain't never heard Brady say nothing like that. Brady usually like the most humblest dude. You know, get up there, give all the kudos. Yeah,
We're past that stage
I
now.
want you the old geezer in the league.
Past that stage. And they was underdogs, bro.
You stop caring about
he
what you
was
say.
talking after the game.
They
They
was
said we
underdogs.
old. What they say? They call me
Oh,
old.
that's out.
They called you slow.
That's what happens, man. Every sports person does this. Every single one. As soon as they get old,
They just started talking
They
crazy.
just start talking crazy. I mean, it's old people, period. Like,
And
I mean, old people, period. I mean, you go back to your grandparents. If your parents get older, they start talking to you crazy. They don't care what comes out their mouth anymore.
And I told you they was gonna have to use.
Oh, Gronk. I knew that.
Hey man, that one reception stuff, one target wasn't gonna get it, man.
What club Gronk going to if they win the Super Bowl this year?
Oh, he going back. Hey, where
You
you
gonna
at?
catch the jet? You gonna catch the jet to live?
Oh yeah, he going to
He
win.
ain't gonna party in Atlanta.
He gonna party in Atlanta? Why not?
Why not?
He
gonna go to Follies?
He can go to California.
See, we never went to. We didn't go to those spots.
He can't go to
All of them
Japan.
gonna be open.
He ain't catching it.
No, but you know, wait, no.
He ain't catching the jet to live.
You can only go to he can only go to Follies on
Oh,
Sunday.
they all
They all be open.
They all gonna be open. Oh, they all
You better
gonna be
believe
open.
business is booming.
Oh,
They all gonna be open.
Absolutely, yo.
What?
Yes,
we might need to be.
yes.
Super Bowl party might be canceled.
They ain't missing no money. They ain't
Super
missing
Bowl party.
But
no
dude,
money.
are you
feel
kidding
me?
me?
When they won the Super Bowl, what was that? They beat Atlanta.
Beat Atlanta.
When they beat Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
boy, we was out there and live. That man Grunt came and they sent about 30 bottles to that man's section.
Man, he gonna party.
30, and he was walking around the club just
He gonna
They
party.
say he had been there for 2 weeks straight.
in Miami,
Yeah.
just kicking it
They said he went there. You know, they went there after
after they won. Yeah,
Super Bowl.
because they in Miami.
Yeah, and then we was still there, and he was still there.
I wouldn't have left either. Why leave?
Hey, that night in Live was
Why
It was
leave?
pretty much.
it was
Had Wayne
nice.
in the building.
What Gucci birthday,
Gucci was there.
man.
Flo Rida was in the
So
building.
right, Andre Johnson was in there.
Yeah, a lot of balls.
Hey man, Ray, it was what? Listen,
A lot of money in the
a
building.
lot of money,
Lot of
but
money.
a lot
Big
of bottles.
A lot of
What?
money in the building. Lot of money in the building.
They gonna be in Black Hollywood in a couple weeks.
It's gonna be a compound. How he going to compound? I know he going to compound.
Nah, he going.
He ain't gonna. He don't like no strip club.
We gonna be on Gronk watch.
I'm about to follow him on IG now. I'm about to follow us
Super
now.
Bowl weekend. Man, so we gonna switch gears. Let's go talk.
Ooh, my turn.
Yeah, let's go talk.
My turn.
Let's go talk. It's your turn, Jack.
All right, man. This week, man, I got something for y'all, man. I got something for
I
y'all.
hope it's good, man. I hope it's good.
All right. We switching sports though.
All right.
We switching sports.
What sport we on?
Let's a little basketball.
Okay.
A little basketball.
Okay.
A little NBA
All
action.
right.
Y'all ready? Y'all see my paper, man. Like that, man. Y'all
Yeah,
see through
we
that.
paper see through them.
This is my copy. This is my copy paper. All right. First player. All right. One-time NBA champion.
Mm.
9-time All-Star.
Mm.
9-time All-NBA. 9-time All-Defensive Team.
Ooh.
One-time steal champion. Defensive Player of the Year. I ain't gonna give out
That's Ron Artest.
I ain't gonna give out the actual numbers.
That's Ron Artest.
Nah.
All right, second player. All right. 10-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive Team, 2-time Steal Champion.
That's Gary Payton.
Gary Payton only got one ring.
Ron Artest only got one ring. And Ron
Read
Artest.
play it too.
Ron Artest
Player
was
two?
the player of the year.
Player 2?
Yeah.
Did
Player
Ron
2 was
Artest
a
win?
10-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA,
That's not right.
5-time All-Defensive Team.
Wait. Start over again. Start
over again?
Yeah.
All right. Player 2. All right, 10-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA,
That's not like that.
5-time All-Defensive Team, 2-time Steal Champ. Both are Hall of Famers.
In the Hall of Fame right now.
Hall of Fame right now.
That definitely ain't Ron Artest.
There's one of them, Gary Payton.
One of them is definitely Gary
Player one
Payton.
is definitely Gary Payton.
Player 1 is Gary Payton.
Gary Payton was defensive player of the year.
He's all them defensive. What'd you say? He was 9-time
9-time All Defensive Team.
Yeah, that's Gary.
Player 2, a point guard too.
Hey man, listen. You want me to read the?
Read player 2 again,
Player 2 again.
please.
10-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive Team, 2-time Steal Champion.
See NBA champ.
He didn't say that.
I didn't say
He
that.
didn't say that.
Is he though? Did you forget that?
You don't want to say it might be Scotty.
Did you forget that? Is he an NBA champ?
No NBA championships.
Okay.
Oh man.
So we got Gary and we got.
What we got people. Woo! Look at D-Boo.
He said John
John
Stockton.
Stockton, man.
Oh, yeah.
Player
still
2 is
yeah.
John Stockton.
God. This
That's good. That's good. That's real good actually.
So we got Gary Payton versus John Stockton. Battle of the point guards right now.
let me look at Stockton's stats. Let me get these numbers.
John Stockton.
See, I don't think this is fair. Oh my god.
Pretty tough.
It's a tough one.
It's tough.
Ooh, go talk, baby. Go talk.
It's tough.
Go talk, baby.
See, I almost want to take out Gary Payton's championship because it came when he was like way at the end. Like he was championship searching at that point.
He was with Miami.
That was Miami, and he hit a big shot for him, but I don't even remember that year in Miami.
How was the way year?
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like Gary Payton's year with Miami.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember.
Him and Jason Williams.
Yeah, they had Jason Williams starting, but then Jason Williams wasn't playing real good, so they was going with GP.
This is tough.
See, I'm looking at I'm thinking about the finals, man. Like with Jordan, like Peyton was one of the very few people
That showed up.
that like
Gave him issues.
gave him some problems, man. Like could guard him. Like I don't think Mike numbers in that finals. Like I don't think I gotta look. I don't think those might have been some of his weaker finals numbers going against GP.
It was his worst final.
Gary Payton in the playoffs that year. What was that, 96?
95, 96.
95, 96.
Also take into account.
He averaged 21, 6 assists, and 7 assists and 5 rebounds in the playoffs that year.
Stockton had 2 rings right now for Will do
I can't.
2 rings.
I mean, but I'm gonna have to go Stockton.
When you
I
got
don't
all-time
know,
numbers.
man.
I'm going Gary Payton, man.
Hold on, let me think about
I'm going
it.
Gary Payton.
Got him shit fired.
I'm going. Yeah, look at Gary's numbers, man. It's just regular season numbers. This dude.
Didn't they meet in the playoffs before?
But just listen to Gary's numbers. Just points. Just like, let me just write off his points. 94, 95, 21 points. 95, 96, 19. 96, 97, 21.8. So that's 22. 97, 98, 19. 98, 99, 22. 99, 2000, 24. 2000, 2001, 23. 2001, 2002, 22. 2002, 2002, 2000. Dang. He even got traded and was still putting up 20. Give me Gary. Give me Gary.
His fall off was so hard, though.
It was, but Gary could score the basketball. He still could diamond off. Stockton was a better passer. But then Gary still turned around and played defense.
He did, but Stockton is the all-time steals leader. He's the all-time steals leader.
But I don't.
GP is fourth.
He's fourth on that list.
But the crazy thing about it, like I don't even look at Stockton as like a great elite defense. Like,
dude, let me read a stat that really sticks out to me with Stockton.
okay,
Oh my God. Start from 1998 to the 89. I'll even start from 87 to 88.
okay,
Played 79 games.
yeah,
No, he played all 82 games.
uh-huh,
Next year, he played all 82 games. 89, 90, 78 games. Then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, he never missed a game. Longevity. Never missed a
But this
game.
ain't about longevity.
Yes, it has to be, bro.
How?
Because not only that, he was giving you 14 assists, 14 assists, 14 assists, 12 assists, 12 assists, 12 with 2 steals.
No, that's what I'm saying. Stockton was a better passer. He was definitely a better passer. I'm not arguing that. But GP was scoring the ball and still turning around and defending. Sometimes the best player on the court. That's hard to. The man was averaging like 99, 2000. The man averaged 24.2, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals. And he played all 82 games.
Yeah, they were different animals back then.
Like Stockton would have, like, not to say that Stockton couldn't score the ball, but Stockton was definitely a pass first point guard.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So I think it's tough in a sense, like we got a pass first versus really like, to me, Gary was more like defense first. But then he could still put the ball in the basket.
Yeah. Man, this is
tough.
That's what it's supposed to be, fellas. It's supposed to be tough.
So I want to see the stats from the series that they played against each other. That's what I want to see. Because I believe Gary Payton even said the one player that he couldn't get under was John Stockton.
Yeah, but Gary used to. So Gary used to like try to dig deep and find some. Man, that dude was reckless.
He was KG-ish.
No, he was worse than KG.
I don't know.
He was. You ever seen that? It's a show on.
KG was pretty bad.
No, it's a show on Fox Sports 1. Gary Payton said nothing was off the table. Nothing.
I mean, KG did say something. He said Villanueva looked like a cancer patient.
Yeah, don't get no worse than that, brother.
Yeah,
We don't know what Gary said. like that's what I'm saying. We don't know what Gary said.
Gary did have Mike win the fight on that one.
He had to say something. He might have said, "Look," he might have said something like that.
Gary Payton had. You remember when Gary Payton was on the Mike special, and he said when he was young, he said he was like a rookie. He came out there and was talking to Mike in the preseason, was talking crazy to him, and Mike didn't say anything to him. He said he saw him in the regular season.
When it mattered.
I was like, oh yeah, he was talking that last preseason.
I
I remember when I then dropped 45 on him. He said he was on. Gary said he was on the bench in four court, icing his knees, still talking to him.
Bro, let me look at Peyton, man. Let me look at him again, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think I might have to go with Gary, bro.
That's a cloud.
It's tough. It's tough though. It's tough.
And I mean, Stockton and Malone literally have 2 rings, bro. And Peyton fall off was so like.
I guess Stockton Malone 1 year, 1 ring, 98.
All right, so I found the playoff series. Seattle actually won that series.
Okay.
They won it. No,
So
I lied. Utah won the series. 4 games on 1.
Was Sean Kemp on the team?
Yeah. Stockton had. I'm just read out his assist games.
Jesus.
Let me read you his assists for that series. 15, 14, 11, 13, and to close the series out, he had 17 assists.
Sheesh.
With 3 steals, 3 steals, 3 steals, 2 steals, 5 steals.
Bro,
I got 5 steals in the
Close like 18 points, 17 assists, 5 steals, 6 rebounds.
These fantasy points.
Fantasy. What Gary had?
All right, let's go to Gary's. This is kind of young in Gary's career, so
What year was that?
That was 91, 92.
Okay.
So it was a little young in Gary's career.
His playoff numbers might not have been good that year.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Nah, it wasn't good.
Stockton was showing up 91, 92. Yeah, he only averaged like 7 points that
7
series.
points, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't blow up until like 95, 96 actually when they went to the what's the name? But he had a stretch. He had a nice stretch though.
He had 7 points.
He was getting 20, 23, 24, 25, 22 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that was a 6-game stretch. That was a real good stretch. Actually, that was all the way up to 01, 02. I didn't even know he was still killing like that in 01, 02.
I'm still going. I'm gonna go Stockton.
You going Stockton?
I'm going Stockton.
Who you got 5?
I'm gonna go Stockton just because of the all-time achievements. Number 1 on the all-time assist leader. Nobody's going to catch him either.
Yeah, I feel like
that's one of those records that's not going. I don't think ever going.
What about steals?
Yeah, he's number 1 on steals. It's gonna be tough. I think Chris Paul is like the only like active player. Like Wade and Chris Paul are the only active
Paul
players.
plays up games. He can get injured every year.
Yeah. He's tailing off, and Chris Paul not even in the top 5 yet. He's not even in the top 5. So I just think Stockton has just some all-time achievements to where Gary It's like Stephen Steele, obviously.
Like what he said that year, that in 7 years he played all 82 games.
He played all 82 games. Started all 82 games.
That's more durability than it is.
It is, but he was durability and the fact that he was still putting up numbers, like you can count on him.
And I will say that he had the luxury of playing with the mailman
Yeah, that's
for
big time.
all of his career. So I mean,
let me ask
chemistry was
you this right now. You in the gym right
and
now?
the same coach too, and the same coach.
You in the gym?
Coach the entire
You in the gym right now? You got Stockton, you got Peyton. You need one more on your team. You in the gym? Who you picking? You gonna take?
Open gym?
Nah. Yeah, we can even say open gym.
Open gym, I might take Peyton. But if the Zebras is out, I'm gonna take
The Zebras.
If the Zebras is out, the rest.
I don't
is
know.
out,
I think it truly depends. It for me, it depends on my team. Like what do I need on my team?
That's true.
Because again, Stockton was
With the mailman.
no. I'm not even saying. I'm just saying. To me, his game was more so he was pass first. Like, do I need my point guard like to set up everybody and put people in the spots they need to be in to be successful? Or do I need a point guard that can go, not to say Stockton couldn't go get a basket, but do I need a point guard that can go get a basket? Do I need a point guard that can turn around and guard not only his position, but another player that's not, you know what I'm saying, like a small forward or a shooting guard? Like,
Yeah.
do I need that? So, I'm with 5. It depends on where we at. Like, it truly depends. It depends on a lot.
Stockton revolutionized what we know now as the pick and roll.
Yeah, I mean,
When you say pick and roll,
they weren't running pick and roll like that.
when you say pick and roll, you
Before that.
instantly think of John Stockton and Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Like he, as a point guard, the traditional point guards, like Stockton is the guy to look at.
And you want to know what? They call it the pick and roll, but they rarely pick and roll. Like a lot of it was pick and pop.
Pick and pop, yeah.
A lot of it was pick and pop. But man, when the mailman was rolling, he was rolling. Yeah, he had the knee up in your chest.
Yeah, hey, I'm going Stockton.
His passing ability was just absolutely absurd. Like, and people think it was all him. No, it wasn't all him, man. He was making guys. Come on, man. He got guys like Brian Russell, extra years in the league.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people always talk about that with Steve Nash. They be like, man, Nash gave me a couple extra years, like in the league. That's how good he was. Or they said that Rondo, Big Baby David said Rondo gave him an extra 2-3 years. Like guys like that who can pass the ball, like can extend your a regular player's career.
So let me ask this question: who's a better passer, Nash or John Stockton?
Steve Nash.
Absolutely, John Stockton.
Better passer?
Yeah, because
In what degree, though?
Nash would turn over happy too. A lot of people forget about that with Nash. They get caught up in the high assists. But he turned. I mean, the 2 years that he won MVP, he also led the league in turnovers.
So I'm gonna side with Stockton, and the reason being, I think Stockton was way more decisive than Steve Nash. I could just remember, like right now, it's just highlights of him just like dribbling around everybody, waiting for somebody to do something. Like, well, to me, Stockton, it was no wasted dribbling, it was no wasted movement. Like, I'm going here, boom, ball right there, you in your spot.
And people forget Nash. I mean, Nash was always a pretty good passer, but Nash wasn't a great passer until he got to Phoenix. Like his assist numbers, they were okay. They were.
I think he was good with Dirk,
They
but
were around like the 7-8 mark, but they like he got to Phoenix, they like jumped up to 11, 12, 13.
But think about it, when he was in Phoenix, he had the ball in his hand all the time.
He had the ball all the time in Dallas too.
Nah,
But you remember,
they were gonna get it.
They didn't start running that. They didn't start running that dirt high post stuff until Avery got there. Avery was the one that put him in that position. Because Avery was like, man, you stand out
They
here.
did have Don Nelson.
Yeah, you stand out here at the 3-point line too much. He was like, man, I need you down here in the post. When they had Don Nelson, that ball was in Nash's hands, like a lot. But he just, I mean, and I'm not saying he wasn't a good passer. I'm not going to say that at all. But he just
Stockton's
yeah,
assist bonus is crazy.
oh, absolutely off the charts.
So it is crazy.
I'm going Peyton.
We guys like Ostertag,
Ostertag.
and was it David Carr?
David Carr.
Oh.
Yeah. No, Austin Carr.
Was it Austin Carr?
I think it was Austin.
Nah,
Olin Polynice.
Greg Foster.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Chris Morris.
Come on, man.
Aaron
Speaking,
Russell.
what was that? What was that other dude?
Oh,
Howard Isley.
Howard Isley probably could have started on some teams
Come on,
if he wasn't backing up for
But these were the type of players that Stockton was getting 13 assists a game. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had the mailman, obviously, but all 13 went to the mailman. I can guarantee that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he did have Hornacek though.
Hornacek was a knockdown shooter.
Yeah, Hornacek was solid.
Absolutely have to have Hornacek.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Stockton, man. So I'm gonna go Stockton.
You know, Stockton?
I'm gonna go Stockton.
Well, you got
I'm
GP?
going GP.
GP? Okay.
GP's man.
I respect that.
The glove. The man was able to defend multiple positions.
Yeah.
Put the ball in the basket. Yeah, I'm going with GP.
I don't respect. Respect. D-Boo, who you got, man? You been quiet over there, man. Who you rolling with, man? You might be the decision maker right here, man.
I ain't Stockton, man.
Woo! You got 3-1 Stockton.
3-1 stock.
3-1 Stockton.
Mountain, man.
Because he was just like, man.
Longevity matters, man.
Peyton, I think Peyton.
Gotta play.
Man,
When you start talking about
Think
all-time
about Kareem.
greatness,
Kareem, the all-time
we
leader.
gotta look
scorer.
at like how long.
How many games Kareem is? You got to play in order to be the all-time leader scorer, be the all-time leader. Thing true. You
So,
got to have some kind of longevity.
See, that's why I don't know. Like some of them.
because like Peyton after Kemp, like when he had where'd he go? He went to
the Milwaukee,
Milwaukee for a year.
he was still solid. With
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
he went to the Lakers.
He was solid with the Lakers. He played his role.
That team was just that was a bad team.
And he went to the Miami.
Yeah, he played his role in Miami. Like that's what I'm saying. Toward the end of his, like the Lakers and Miami, that was just he was chasing rings.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was ring chasing. That's okay.
He got it.
Yeah, I mean,
he caught one.
Yeah, he called it. That's all he needed.
Should have caught two, but that's a different story. Though.
Yeah, he should.
and Stockton retired. Like, even in his last few years in the league, though, like,
10 assists anyway.
man, 7, 8.
Assists.
Yeah,
That would be really good for some others, but it sounds so mediocre for him.
he had 10 straight years with double-digit assists.
That's tough to do.
That's crazy.
I think that's unheard of. It's unheard of, man.
That's crazy.
Chris Paul might be the only player that's somewhat on pace to do that.
And he shot 50% from the field.
I'm gonna go Stockton. But no knock on GP though.
Nah, don't knock it off. While we talking about basketball, next topic. A few things been happening in the NBA, man. We've had Boogie has returned. Man, and Lonzo Ball is out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And we played them tonight.
And
I'm
James,
blaming
Rough game.
Paris' husband for Lonzo being out.
shout out. No, it's no shout out.
No.
Hey Q, I hope you watching, bro.
I'm not even
Bro, Q.
referring to him
Hey,
as
when
his
we
name.
see you, we gonna see you.
Cameron's father. His
Hey
name
Q, when we see you,
Call that man Quentin, man.
Quentin.
That's Paris' husband. That's
Hey.
what I'm calling
He don't even deserve to be called Q. That sounds too cool for him right
Yeah,
now.
you're right.
him. He's just negative, man.
What he calling Quintavious? Man, Lakers, man, injury bug, man. What's going on, man? This is injuries.
Good times. Let Ingram get that stock up a little bit.
Trade them, huh?
Let KCP get that trade stock up.
And get rid of
Trade him. We only got a couple more weeks.
KCP need to be gone.
We only got a couple more weeks.
February 7th is the deadline.
KCP need to be gone.
But you know what's so crazy though? I haven't heard any. You haven't heard like besides the Fareed just got waived, but you haven't heard anything about any trade right now.
Yeah.
It has been really quiet, but besides the Jimmy Butler trade, I don't think we've had a trade.
There's been some lower trades that we don't care about.
I don't even know who.
I haven't heard a lot,
I can't name one.
but let's give it a week.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
give it a week.
You know what? I don't think nothing. I think teams are either doing one or two things, right? They're either going to fire sale or they just going to stand pat. That's what I feel. Like I don't think there's going to be. I truly don't think there's going to be a trade that's going to be made to help somebody get closer or help somebody get over the top.
Bradley Beal is going to get moved.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think Bradley Beal will get traded.
Yeah.
I think that trade is going to happen over the summer. I don't think that trade is going to happen during the season because, again, I don't think Washington is going to trade him to help somebody get closer, or like get closer to making the playoffs, or be able to solidify their spot in the playoffs, or even be able to go around or two. I don't think they will do that.
I think they'll trade him to the West Coast. It ain't like they meeting anybody in the finals.
Yeah, I mean,
and they already said Wall is immovable with that contract.
the
So
Wall is definitely a move.
And he hurt too.
And he hurt. Like, so what better way to get rid of Beal and then get Tank City,
Yeah, but
Zion sweepstakes?
mm,
I mean, I think Beal gets moved.
again, I'm not mad at if he does, but I just don't see that happening. I just think this is a year where everybody's like, let's see what happens with the Warriors and Boogie. You know what I'm saying? And then I think this all season is where it's going, like, you really gonna start seeing.
I think in the West, teams not going to move any of their big pieces. It's too bunched up.
Yeah.
Everybody still thinks they kind of have a chance to make it, at least make the playoffs, and then obviously you never know what can happen from there. I think if anybody does get traded, it will be a player like Beal, a player like Vucevic from Orlando, which Orlando was actually kind of creeping up there a little bit too.
What about Marcus Hall?
I still think they're kind of in it too a little bit too. I think they can still put a nice little run together and get back in the mix.
Ooh, that's tough.
I mean, they're not that far out. I mean, I just think the teams in the West,
They was like
I
at the
think they
bottom.
still
though.
can make it. Yeah, but even the bottom is still like 4 games out. Teams like Dallas,
Yeah.
they think they're still in it. Teams like Memphis think they're still in it.
You don't think they'll trade Dennis?
Memphis 6 out.
See, that's been a lot of games.
Yeah, but they lost 5 straight. They 1-9 in their last 10.
Yeah, but that's
Dang.
still not a lot of games though.
They already talking about trading Dennis because he ain't even with the team. Is he? Dennis Smith Jr.
He'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, he coming back.
Coming back tomorrow, but they still gonna trade him. I mean, but that's a guy that they don't even want, and they're not even using him correctly either. I mean, they're rather they actually do need him. Now that Berea's out for the season, but I guess they're sold on having Luka run the one and having Brunson back him up.
Luka.
While we talking about the Western Conference, let's talk about this streak James Harden has been on, right? So we was talking about it before the show. A lot of people are saying that now with this streak he's been on a tear. Got the Rockets playoff positioning, one of the top MVP candidates. Like, people have been saying he's the best scorer of all time. Anybody want to go before me?
James Harden is not the best scorer that we've ever seen play the game of basketball. Dude,
I'll let you go. Sip this tea.
God, how can I say this?
Bro, look at the jerseys we got behind us.
I'm just trying to think of
Look, we got Space Jam Mike, we got The Answer, and we got Kobe Bean Bryant. Like, James Harden is not a better scorer than either one of these 3 players.
No.
How many points have they said he's gotten unassisted? He hasn't had
He
an
has
assist.
one game where he scored 57 points and no assists.
But they said that the past, how many games is it he's had, no buckets have been assisted. Like, that's a terrible stat.
But then not even just that, man. Like, look at the level of, like, the dude gets every call I've ever seen in my life. He gets away with traveling, damn near 5 times a game. He shoots. When they played the Lakers, the man shot 19 threes.
He shot 17 2 games before that.
He shot listen to that. He shot 19 threes. That's like, yes, you're going to hit some of those.
Right.
And even if you, like, think about it.
He's getting fouled on a lot of these threes.
Yes, but then this is my point. Like, if he hits 5 of 19 threes, that's what, 15 points? That's 15 points, right? He's going to get to the line sometimes. Because he goes to the line, what, 10 times a night?
It's like, I think it's like a little under 10 right now. So about 10.
Okay, so he's going to the line 10 times a night.
And that's for the season too. I don't even know what it is over the stretch. It's probably more than that. Probably more around like 10, 12, 13.
Come on. So and he shoots what for his career, about 85?
Yeah, he's shooting like
Come on.
80s.
So we can just give him another. If he goes there 15 times, we can give him another
12
points.
12, 13.
Come on. And then he's gonna have a stretch where he's like in some of those games he's gonna get and ones. You know what I'm saying? So you got to factor in his layups. Like, it's not to me. It's not impressive based off the number of threes that he's taking. Is it something that and the lack of defense? You can't put your hands on nobody. You can't even breathe on James Harden.
He's so crafty, man.
It's not crap.
Some of it is craft. I
Yeah,
mean,
some of it
he's like
to manipulate the refs the way he does is skill.
absolutely.
Because to go to the whole
I don't
like,
even know how he even practices that.
yeah, some of that stuff is hard to do, bro.
But see, I think again, I just like I'm gonna go back to that play I seen Saturday when Josh Hart had his hands behind his back and James Harden drives the lane. Josh Hart practically gives him the lane, and James Harden just like, and they give him the foul, and he hits it.
But Lance fouled him though. I remember that.
Come on, like.
But that's the type of stuff that happens though. Like if you reach on him,
You
like,
can't reach.
he is-
You have to be He makes you like you have to be disciplined with
But
it.
there's no. That's what I'm saying. There is no discipline. Like, dude, you can play the best defense ever and just be it. Like sometimes I feel like you could just be in the vicinity, and he just like moves his body a certain way, and they blowing a whistle.
Oh yeah,
Like no contact at all. It's just him. Like, oh, I'm not with that, man. I'm not with it.
I just think he just has some holes in this game, especially offensively.
So
Yeah, I just think he doesn't really post up a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's strong as hell. He's gonna be stronger than pretty much every two guard that they throw on him. But he doesn't use his strength really, anywhere besides when he gets to the rim, he tries to draw some body contact. But a lot of the times he's just trying to get to the line.
Yeah.
He's not even going for the and one. He's not even trying to get the ball up to the rim. He doesn't use his mid range game enough. I mean, when he does, he normally pushes off. Sometimes he gets caught for it. Sometimes he doesn't. Then when he does, like he takes another step back, and it's like, dude, why do you even do that? Like you had the shot already. You need to take another step back.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
He just has some holes in his game. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a great offensive player. He was absolutely great. I mean, he's tough to guard. You can't touch him. You can't touch him. Like you can't touch him at all. Like just go back on that play that A. Will was talking about. Josh Hart has his hands behind his back, and he still was hesitant of going past him because he was only searching for the contact. He was literally searching out for the contact. He wanted to see if he was going to reach, bad, where he was going to reach. He was just waiting for him to put his hands from behind his back and
come out, bring
and
his hands back out.
Yeah, and Hart he just left his hand back there and he barely went past him. Like stuff like that. I wish you would guard any three of these players right here and have your hands behind your back.
It's over.
Could you imagine? But not only that, could you imagine like the level of like just disrespect that sends to me to the league? Like, dude, you have defenders literally like when they played Houston the first time. LeBron was doing that.
Mhm.
Everybody that was in front of Harden was putting their hands behind his back.
They literally guard him like this.
Bro, that's
guard him like this.
as the NBA, you gotta take offense to that, man. Like people they're blatantly not trying. And they're showing you like, dude, it's nothing we can do with this guy. Like y'all are gonna give him any and everything.
People going on how when they try to play defense, they don't think they play defense for chance. Like,
No. They never like dude.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And he's the only player that let get away with that stuff.
Only player.
He the only player. Like I was watching a game. Who was I watching? I was watching somebody play, and I was like, man, they don't give. I like shooters. Shooters get bumped off screens. They're getting held off screens, and they don't call any of that stuff. You talking about a guy who dribbles the ball 20 times a possession? You can't even put a fingertip on this guy, and he gets a line. It's crazy. It's crazy, and they're trying to preach this freedom of motion stuff, but they only call it when they want to call it. Like, let's be honest.
Steph Curry is a 2-time MVP. Steph Curry is the only unanimous MVP. Steph Curry don't even get the calls James Harden.
None of those calls.
He don't get and I'm not even a big Curry fan, but I've seen Curry come off screens, get hit, no call. I've seen Curry drive the lane, get hit, no call. I've seen Curry do some of the things James does, the double step back, gets a travel call. Like, you see him, dude, Curry doesn't even get those calls that James gets, and he's a 2-time MVP.
To his point, Durant kind of started this though.
With
The swing through,
No,
the whole swing through and searching for that type of contact. Like Durant was doing that first.
I don't even think Durant was the one. Duncan used to do that a lot.
Duncan did used to do
He used to
that.
put his arm in, come up.
Yeah.
then they just took it to the 3-point line.
But at least he was doing it like, you know, with the intention like to at least go up and put a shot.
Yeah.
The Durant and them wasn't even like, they were just like, boop, and then the ball just dropping and they just know they was getting the call. So they shooting 2 free throws.
But again, I just think like that's the NBA realizing to me that players were taking advantage of a call, right? So it started with Duncan, but like you say, Duncan was actually going up looking to score. You know what I'm saying? And Duncan probably was doing it as a sense of like, get your hands off me, like stop putting your hands on me, type thing. Like then players probably started abusing it, and now they don't let you do that. But now Harden has even found a way. Like, dude, sometimes Harden comes down and he will grab you like this.
But the ref won't
and
see
the
that.
ref, they see it, but they won't call. Like, dude, this is clear. Like, if I'm dribbling the ball,
they call that foul on the defender.
and they see, but they see Harden come down
That's the thing.
and do like this.
I don't, like you said with the refs, like with the football, I don't think they see all of it because he makes it look like the defender.
If my man's is dribbling,
They study film. They study film too.
But you say they're human, right? And when you're looking at that fast motion and some of the refs that's making these calls, like regular game speed, it don't look like he hooking them.
That's all.
And they're not able to go and review that type of stuff.
right.
It's bad, but I mean, he's mastered that.
Do you know how hard? Listen, do you know how hard? Let's just be honest. You know how hard it is. If you and I were running 100 meters next to each other, like side by side, shoulder by shoulder, you know how hard it is for my arm to go under your arm, or your arm to go under my arm.
We're talking about professionals. He's perfected this.
No, that's
He's
what I'm
perfected it
saying.
so good that the refs they can't see it that fast, bro. That's what makes it even worse, is they can't see that. If you going that fast and you got a ref on the side of you trying to keep up with the play, and I lean into you and underhook, they're not gonna be able to. They're not right next to us.
So I'm gonna do you a solid, right? Go watch James Harden play live. I seen James Harden play live. He don't move. He's not a fast guy. He doesn't move that fast. Like, as bad as he looks, or as bad as y'all hate watching him on TV, he's even worse live. Like, he's worse live. Like, it's almost to the point, remember we went to that game, that college game, and we looked up and saw Denzel Valentine, like, almost have a triple-double, and we like, wait, where did this come from? Like, that's how hard he is live. Like, you'll look up at the jumbo and see, like, man, he got 30 points. Wait, where did he score all these points from? Like, dude, he's not moving that fast. Like, he's literally dribbling, searching for contact, searching for people. Like, he's literally looking to get an advantage and figure out what he's going to do. So I get what you're saying as a human error, like the angles and all of that. But Harden is searching for that moment to do things like that, or get into your body, or you know what I'm saying, like put his arms, all that. He's looking for that.
Oh, yeah.
The refs can see that.
They can at times, but you got to think at this point in his career, a lot of NBA players, when you play in the league for so long, you know what refs can and can't see on the court. You know what you can get away with.
But here's my thing, though, Ray. Like, the refs study the players too.
Yes.
Hey, dude.
This is not they do. This is their job. They during the off season, they're just not at home chilling with their family.
I mean, they study.
They have film sessions that they have to attend, and they study players. And I'm for damn sure that James Harden is one of the players.
So what's going on?
I don't know.
That's my point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's any new refs or what's going on.
I mean, no, I'm glad you said that. We are in an era with a lot of new
It is a lot of new refs.
NBA officials. A lot of the refs that we grew up on have retired. So we in a new era where these refs, like, they're bad. They're just bad. But like I was saying, Harden, he knows they're bad. And he knows what he can get away with right now. No matter how much studying they do, like Harden knows, he knows there's certain stuff on the court that refs might not be able to see. We're going to see it when they replay it, when they slow it down. We're going to be like, dude, he hooking them. Like, how can you not see that? But he know he can get away with it. I don't think Harden, like, you let these guys do what Harden get the freedom to do. They're gonna be averaging 50. And they didn't have to take these threes. They didn't have to like dribble the ball 20 to 24 seconds. And like you said, when Harden comes off of a pick and roll and he's got the mid range and he's got the lane, he will circle back around, back to the top of the key. He won't take the mid range jumper. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's impressive what he is doing just to be able to put up points like that. Like, it's impressive, but nowhere near. He's nowhere near the best scorer of all time.
And I will say, as a member of the flopping team, which I was when I played, but I was nowhere near as crafty as that man was. Like, I mean, he used to oversell fouls, but he's overselling and creating the contact.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine even having the mindset to even do some of the stuff that he does. Like, some of that stuff is hard. And
I can't put him in that category as far as, and then certain people I put him like, oh, he's one of like as far as two guards, like
Top two.
top three, like no, bro, like no.
they never saw Dwayne Wade.
No.
They never saw Flash when he was Flash. They just remember the Miami.
You can't.
They remember the Miami LeBron.
You can't.
Wade. They don't remember that pre-LeBron Wade.
So I'm gonna just give y'all this breaking news right now. It's probably pointless at this point, but Melo got traded to the Bulls for cash.
Oh wow!
Carmelo Anthony just got traded to
Are
the
Bulls gonna buy him out?
I don't know, but the Rockets. So I let me take that back. It says Melo and cash to Chicago Bulls.
Jamar D, you watching the show?
So I believe this move is what 4, 5. When was Melo supposed to come to the Bulls? 6 years ago.
Are they gonna buy him out?
Yeah, I think the Bulls
absolutely gotta
definitely
be
got
buying
buying.
him.
Let's just talk next phase. Where's he going?
He's going to the Lakers.
And the Rockets knew that. That's why they didn't waive him.
But this is still stupid. Like I was thinking about this earlier today. Like when you brought that up in the chat, and you was like, the Rockets are not gonna waive him because they fear he's gonna either go to the Lakers or Golden State. And I was just thinking like, okay, but if you trade him, he's probably gonna ask for a buyout.
Yeah.
And then he gets, or you know what I'm saying, he gets brought out, they waive him, and then he just goes to sign the way he wants to sign it. Like, you should have just held on to him.
Still gonna say this. I said this since the beginning. If I'm Carmelo Anthony, I'm going to the Golden State Warriors. Melo, go to Golden State, bro. You've done enough. Get you a ring.
Please
bro.
don't go.
Go to Golden State. If I'm Carmelo Anthony, I'm going to the Warriors.
Please.
Rockets are absolutely scared of that.
Please.
If I'm Carmelo Anthony, and Lala,
No.
Well, they're in LA now.
Lala,
They're in LA.
Wait, no.
it makes too much sense. It makes too much basketball sense. No, go to the Monstars, Melo.
No.
That's what they need a guy like him.
Dog, would you get
That makes it even worse.
Come on, y'all get on my nerve.
Like they missing that David West type guy.
No.
They don't have that right now.
ED's decline.
Wait.
He's actually been playing really
You know what? He might need to go there. Because they say wherever Melo go, the team implodes. Let Melo go to the Warriors so they can implode.
Melo can't even mess that up.
Yes.
Yeah,
They coach are too strong, bro.
They coaches is too strong.
Too strong, bro.
Boogie's talking about staying, Will.
Hey man,
He's talking about staying.
Oh.
ain't y'all tired of watching them dudes?
Play one game.
Ain't you tired of watching the Patriots?
He's
I am, but I enjoy it. Because everybody else tired of it.
Listen, the culture is so great over there. Boogie hadn't played a game yet.
We need
And
another
said that-
Boston, LA matchup, y'all. Come
They're
on.
not gonna get that.
Why
If
not?
I was Melo, I
Not
would
this year, at
go.
least.
Why not?
Not
No,
unless
look,
the Lakers
look.
make some moves.
Look, we done already had
gotta
it.
make
We
some
done had
moves.
it in baseball. We got it in football. All we need is in basketball. We good to go.
Lakers gotta make some moves. They gotta make some
They
moves.
pick up Melo. That's the start.
They gotta go after another guy. They need a Beal. They need. I can't even name anybody else in the East. We got. Lonzo's out now.
Come on, man.
Like, it's tough, man.
I mean, but I can definitely see Melo,
You
LeBron on the phone like this, like, hey, bro. Cause don't nobody know Melo like LeBron.
You want Melo on the
No, I don't. What I'm saying, it makes the most basketball
I don't like
sense.
y'all energy right now.
The basketball sense.
I want him to come.
I wouldn't mind. You know,
I told you we don't have a guy on the bench who can just go out there and get buckets. Like, we don't have that. We got a bunch of guys that be out
He
there
usually
to
get
dribble.
buckets, not like.
But he just started playing like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I mean, his mom died.
I mean, no, I'm not saying like I'm not faulting the man for sure.
He told me, I'm trying to play my self
I'm trying to say myself a shake, leave me in.
Yeah.
You actually hate on your hat, man.
Who?
Actually,
Oh, he be alright. Tell him go Bears.
Yo, chill out with the level of disrespect. Don't do that. Because we want to know versus y'all in the Super Bowl.
And
Don't matter.
did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, bueno.
I saw it. You want to see it?
You saw
You
VHS?
want to see it? Brady wasn't y'all quarterback then either.
He wasn't.
All right.
I wasn't going in either.
It don't matter.
I don't know who the quarterback was.
It don't matter. What we doing? Back to, no. Don't disrespect us like that. I ain't gonna lie. Dude, I can see him going to LA. I can see Braun on the phone with him right now. Super text.
Right now.
Most basketball sense though?
No.
It's Gold State.
Hey.
Probably been with probably been with Melo since he been hurt.
Yeah.
Like, just chilling. Like LeBron.
Yeah.
Probably just been like just chilling with Melo. Because Melo is in LA.
Yeah.
So what y'all think about Kevin Love sitting down having dinner with LeBron James when Kyrie gave him the call?
Love is hurt.
That was when but that's when the Cavs were in town, though, right?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, you know,
I mean, they cool.
because the Cavs might trade Love. Shit, they
might.
They need to.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
know.
yeah, I got here.
Y'all like Love on the way?
No.
You got some stuff you got to let be what it was.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this:
Nah,
can Kyrie?
you're damn scared.
As much as you hate the way Kyrie overdribbled the basketball, you want to come to LA?
Get damn scared.
Yeah, looking at Kyrie dribbling in, you watch James Harden, you appreciate
Yeah, like,
Kyrie. You appreciate Kyrie. Man.
Hey,
dog.
Man, I thought Kyrie was bad. Oh man, Harden getting worse though. Like
He got nobody.
bad.
Nah, man.
Already
He'll
bad.
play ring around the rosy on
You don't have nobody. Who he got to pass it
Even when
to?
he did have somebody, even when Chris Paul was there, he still dribbling the air out the damn ball every damn possession.
Man,
It's hard to watch, man.
I need this
Ooh,
buyout
Melo.
to happen right now. I need.
We gonna find out that news with
The
this
buyout-
buyout.
the buyout,
Brady's
yeah.
going in the next
It'll be a
48 hours.
It'll be a Woj bomb.
Yeah, 48 hours.
Well, it's not a Woj bomb. We giving it to y'all now. You know what I'm saying? It's a good fellas
It's
bomb.
a Goodfellas bomb. Yeah.
And it's
So where do you think he going?
to the Lakers.
Where do you think he going?
I think he went out like
I think he going to LA just because of LeBron.
one player game for the Bulls will be released and become a free agent.
He going to the Lakers.
He going to the Lakers.
Woj bomb.
He going
No, we said it first.
Carmelo.
We said it first.
Carmelo,
Don't give Woj no credit.
Carmelo.
We said it first.
your basketball career.
Woj just tweeted it first. We going live. We live right here, baby.
Warriors.
Man, we is definitely live right now. Man.
Carmelo.
We
Go.
Melo too.
Melo. What is wrong with you? Almost hit you.
Don't call
Talk
Carmelo, bro.
about me being a closet
No,
Warriors
it
fan.
don't make sense.
No! What is wrong with
The
you?
Warriors can win now.
Hey man, listen.
He just looking to get a ring and sit the hell down.
Yeah.
But he's not looking to sit down, man.
Either way, though, he's gonna have a bench roll.
Hey, Dougie,
Limited
I don't like your energy.
I gotta stick with what I said from the beginning.
It's not no.
Just like you had to stick with you saying Breeze was the MVP after Mahomes the whole last month.
Breeze is still in.
Ah, look at it.
Yeah. I told y'all earlier. If they voted already, Breeze the MVP. If they voted after Sunday, you know what I'm saying? It's Mahomes.
You don't believe that.
I believe it. I stand on it.
But no, Melo with Lakers makes obviously the most sense.
Yeah, I mean because of LeBron.
No, even
No,
right
just,
now.
just sense, just his
Even
role.
right now, yeah. Ron is out, Rondo out, now Lonzo out. He clearly is gonna have the green light to do whatever he
Did he
needs to
just
do.
say whatever team Melo goes to, he
Shut up!
You told this is what you told me.
Cause you want him to go to the Warriors.
But that would be a good thing, wouldn't it?
It would.
All right then.
But when he comes to LA,
So I was
James.
James.
Yeah,
I am right.
Bron ain't going for that. Bron is not going for that.
I never really thought like Melo was like the head case though. Like as much grief as they try to give Melo for being like the head case and like implode the team, like he never really like does anything like crazy.
I think if he can just get in the role where all he needs to do is score.
Like they got on him in OKC because he said he didn't want to come off the damn bench. I wouldn't want to call the bench for Jeremiah Grant neither. I wouldn't want to come off the bench for Grant either.
Man,
Like,
that's Harvey's son. Be respectful.
Come on, man. Roberson, you want me to come off the bench for Roberson? He can't even shoot free throws.
So Iverson was the same way in Detroit. I don't want to come off the bench for no Rodney Stuckey.
All right,
Yeah, but they were even
wait.
conference finals 7 years in a row.
Now let me ask this question. As much as y'all hate him, does Ingram come off the bench when the Lakers get Melo?
No.
Melo don't need to start on no team he go to, man. No championship
See,
contender.
hopefully Ingram don't play too many more damn games. we trying to get rid of him too. Come on, man. It's time for him, man.
Bro.
Time is up.
As long as Melo can accept his role, man.
Play well last game, though. In the end.
Just the last game?
At the
Can
end.
we give him the last 5 games? He ain't play well the last 5 games? No.
No.
That one game against Houston, he had like,
Houston was the last game.
yeah.
But he didn't score until the end of the fourth quarter. Like,
He had one game, we had
One
like
game,
11
like-
assists, and then didn't.
the OKC game, he
Yeah.
was 1 for 10.
But he had assists, he had rebounds, he was affecting the game. He was affecting the game in other ways.
I'm not paying you.
I can't wait till we discuss this superstar talk. I cannot.
But why you ever talk about Kuzma getting 40?
Hey, I never said. Do y'all ever see me saying trade Kuzma? Get rid of Kuzma.
Can't, because he ain't the tradable piece.
Untouchable.
Actually, GMs around the league say that's their most valuable trade asset.
Yeah, but it's for Anthony Davis.
I mean, who you want, Davis or you want Kuzma?
I mean, you want Anthony Davis.
So right now, if I'm the GM of the Pelicans and I call you and I ask for Kuzma, I ask for Hart, and I ask for KCP
I mean,
for Anthony Davis and 2 future picks, you got to think about this.
that's a lot.
You got to think about this.
Yes.
You saying yes? You got to think about it, or yes, you pull it. Oh, okay. 5. You got to think about this.
That's a lot, man. For the glass, man.
You got to think about this.
That's a lot for the glass.
You
man.
just said the Lakers need to make a move. So if the Lakers get a call, Rob Pelinka gets a call.
Wait, let's change it. If you change Kuz for Ingram, are you pulling?
See what I'm saying? What's you?
Billy the Kid. Hey, Billy the Kid quick. What?
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pulling the damn trigger.
But you got to think about Kuzma.
Yeah, man.
So if you got, hold on. So listen. If you right now are Rob Pelinka and you know as soon as Melo get waived, he gonna clear waivers. He coming to LA. Boom. So I got Melo. I got Bron. I got Rondo. I got Lonzo. I got Ingram, and I got McGee still. I got Chandler. I got Svi.
Shit, Zubek been our best center.
But I'm just saying, you still got Zubac, you got Beasley still, and I'm calling you, I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm calling you and I say, hey, Kuzma, Hart, KCP, and 2 future picks for Anthony Davis. You mean to tell me you got to sit there and think about it?
You don't.
I mean, I know they would do it. I wouldn't be the happiest with it though. I wouldn't be the happiest.
Why?
Because Kuz is a future star, and he's damn near a star now. Like, but he's a future star. I don't know.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you give up future stars. Like, and he's still young too, 22 years old.
But see, I
You get LeBron James, Anthony Davis right now. And the LA Lakers are definitely in talks of winning an NBA championship this year.
but not
Against who?
This year, even against Golden State.
Against Golden State.
If you give him Anthony Davis, yes,
with Melo,
yes,
him, Anthony, and Melo.
and Ball,
Depends on
Brandon Ball, and
Depends on
Rondo
what
come
Melo
back.
Depends on what Melo.
You know what I mean?
We gotta help you.
Yeah, healthy. That's what I'm saying. But you give Anthony Davis on that with them, yes.
So let me just ask
I
this.
guess they give him a run for their money.
Yeah,
Let me just
but
ask.
I still believe Ingram is the one you trade.
Let me just ask this, right? And this I'm gonna just highlight it before we, because I really want to save it for my superstar, my definition of a superstar. But do you just want a player that only affects the game in one way, scoring, or do you want a player that's able to still have an imprint or an effect on the game, even on nights when he doesn't have it going? So don't answer right now. Just think of that. Because every time I sit back and I think about Kuzma versus Ingram. That's what I always think. Like, if Kuzma ain't scoring the ball, he ain't doing nothing else. He ain't rebounding. He ain't assisting. He ain't defending. He's doing nothing else. So if he ain't giving you 20, it's like, dude, you're a waste.
The only problem with that is he's always giving.
He's always giving 20.
No, but that's why.
Give
But
him
think
20.
about it. It's some nights where it takes Kuzma a long. What game was we watching? The other, I think they was playing the Thunder, and Kuzma was not playing well. And no, take that back.
Before that.
The Bulls.
Yeah,
They were playing Bulls, and he was not playing well. And I put in the chat, and I was like, dude, something off with Ingram and Kuzma. It's like they battling each other. Like they not looking at each other. They don't have no nothing, like no chemistry, no nothing. And Kuzma was not playing well, and the Lakers were struggling. They were struggling. Like he had no other effect on
He had
the
12
game.
boards.
I understand, but look at he had 12 boards, right? But how many points did he have?
16.
16. So he got 16 and 12. But remember, don't look at the stats. Remember the game. Remember the game.
He wasn't playing well.
He
was not playing well.
But I mean, more times than not, Ingram is the one not playing well than Kuzma.
But again, so I'm asking you, what are you asking? When you say he's not playing
When
well,
I draft you as the number 2 pick in the draft, if you can affect the way in other games, that's great. But dude, your scoring has got to be there.
Okay.
I don't. It's got to be there with everything else.
I'm gonna wait till we have our superstar.
No, it's got to be there with everything else.
I'm gonna wait. So let me ask.
It's got to.
Okay.
He doesn't get us like. You can't give me 8 points and say, oh well, he had 10 assists and 7 rebounds. No, bro. If everybody's out, you get the most usage, bro. Brandon Ingram is the guy that they need to get 20 points.
Okay. So in that case, this is why I think it is. In that case, let's look at Russell Westbrook. His shooting percentage, his shooting numbers is all the way down.
Yeah.
All the way down, right?
Worst of his career.
Are we going to sit back and say that Russell doesn't still have an effect on the game?
Definitely gonna kill him in the playoffs.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, does Russell still have an effect on the game? Even despite the fact teams are now going grossly under the screens. Teams are leaving Russell Westbrook wide open, daring him to take any and every shot. They are not letting him attack the basket. They are giving him jump shots.
I can say his impact is overrated at times during the games.
But he still has.
But what did you tell me? Don't look at the numbers. Look at the game.
I'm looking at the game.
Paul George has been saving him this year.
I'm not.
Russell is averaging a triple double, but you know why it's not as impressive? Because it's not as impactful as he did when he had his MVP year.
But Russell is also, to me, this is what I'm saying. Russell is also not allowing the game to get too out of hand or too out of control. He is picking. So to me, when I'm watching Russell, I can see he understands my jump shot ain't falling. I don't have it this year for some reason. I can't find the basket, but he's not allowing that to stop him from attacking the basket or trying to make plays for other or hustling for rebounds, looking for Adams, looking for George.
That's just Russ. You never have to question his heart.
But I'm just saying that's still an impact on the game.
Yeah, but Ingram sometimes, some nights he's just lazy. And when they draft Kuzma, Ingram have 2 totally different games. 2 totally different games. But for some reason, every time we look at Kuzma, he's showing up when they need him the most. Like, it just is what it is, man. Ingram and for him to be the number 2 pick and for you to say, well, he doesn't, you giving him a pass because it's like, well, he affects the games and Kuzma the other night just had like 32, 8, 4, 2 steals, a block. Like, when is Ingram going to give me a 35 point night?
Ingram gave you 30.
When? One night? Kuzma did it like 3 nights in a row.
What's their record when he did it? What's their like?
What do you mean that? But why Ingram can do it?
So again, I think Kuzma is a better scorer than Ingram. I will give y'all that all day long. But it's oftentimes we can look at Kuzma's stat line and we can say, oh, he had 40 points, no assists, 2 or 3 rebounds. Like, okay, he scored the ball like crazy, but he didn't do nothing else.
That's what they need him to do though.
Yeah.
That's his role on the team.
But that night though, like he won us the game though.
No, I'm not. And again, I'm not saying it's not needed. What I'm saying is, if he doesn't give you 40, if Kuzma doesn't give you double digits, Is Kuzma gonna be that guy to say, you know what, my shot ain't falling. Let me go grab 10 rebounds. Let me go give out 10 assists.
Kuz don't need, number one, he's not an assist guy like that, but he doesn't need plays to be ran for him to get buckets.
That's right. You keep talking about scoring the basketball. I'm ruling that out. I'm saying when that shot ain't falling, when he diving and he missing or he diving, it's not your night. We all have them nights where it's not our night.
I think the difference with him is and this is what Ray's trying to come back to, when his shot isn't falling, he can find ways to get easy baskets.
I'm not.
And that creates an effect on the game. Like, so if his shot's not falling, he can't make any threes, he'll dive to the bucket, get an easy layup. Or he'll dive, the defense, I have to react to him, and then it's a kick out for somebody else. The ball might not get to him, but he's making that basketball play to get somebody else a shot or get somebody else a driving lane. Like, I think that's where he's trying to get, where he's moving without the ball, he's cutting, he's diving. He's not a high assist guy. Like, he's just not a high assist guy. Like, that's just not his game. Like, you're never going to get that out of him. He was never like that. He wasn't like that in college. He hasn't been like that in the pros. He probably never, ever will. He'll probably always be a number 2, number 3 guy.
Mm-hmm.
But him as that number 2 or number 3 guy shows up.
I do everything on my power not to trade him.
A lot of the time. I mean, you need...
More times than not, he's showing up.
He's like that Klay Thompson. Like, he's like that Klay Thompson. Like, when all else fails, like, if your superstar doesn't have it going, or if your next best guy doesn't have it going, he can be that guy to step up to the plate and carry your team when other guys don't have it going.
On the offensive end.
On the offense.
And look, look, Ingram, like, he's had a stretch the last week or so where he's been doing a better job of distributing the ball, getting people involved, but
It's good.
the man is averaging 2.9 assists.
I'm not Ray. That's not so. Again,
So this is to your point. This is to the point. You said outside of scoring.
You're looking at his.
How else are we supposed to?
Because this is what I'm saying. Bron is out. Rondo is out. Right.
Yeah.
Lonzo is now out.
Yeah.
Right. Look, when you're watching these games now, what I'm saying is, don't look at the overall effect on the game. Don't look at the stats. I'm not saying look at the stat line. That's not what I'm saying. Because we can all look at the stat line. Stats, to me, tells you one part of the game. You got to watch the game and actually see what's transpired, right? Like, even if you watch the Houston game, Ingram looked like crap the first 3 quarters on the offensive end.
Yeah.
But Ingram was still, he had some rebounds, he had some assists. Like, he still was having a imprint on some point in some way in the game, right?
OT is OT. OT, he came to hoop.
In OT, he started scoring the basketball.
Now let me ask you this.
They were the reverse, actually. Like,
Yeah, they flip-flop.
Kuzma was carrying us for the first. Kuzma and Ball were carrying us for the first 3 quarters.
Scoring wise, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's still carrying you. I mean,
that's what
on
I'm
the
saying.
defensive end too, they all were playing well defensively.
Yeah.
They all were playing well defensively.
Again, I'm not talking about scoring the basketball. If I'm so this is what I'm
That's
saying.
the thing with me with Ingram, he can, what he showed me in overtime, he can get those same shots in the first, like,
Really
it's just his consistency, man.
And
But I've always
He
said
can easily get 20.
But I've always said this. Ingram needs to be more aggressive
That's
on the offensive end.
That's what I'm
But
waiting
I'm
for.
not. But so again, I'm not totally judging him off scoring the basketball. And 5, you played in college. You know, some nights you just not gonna have it. But you can't go to your coach and be like, Coach, I just can't buy a basket. Coach gonna look at you and say, okay, what else can you do for me? That's what he gonna look at you and say. You cannot. So when Ingram ain't scoring, to me, he don't just be like, well,
some nights.
Some nights, until the last few games.
Some nights he doesn't.
So,
Nights when he doesn't have it going on, like
he usually check out.
like actually he wasn't even in the game in the 4th quarter. Like, he didn't get subbed back into the game until like 2 minutes ago.
How often do we give him a pass and keep saying, "Oh, Coach, I don't have my shot going. Oh, I don't have my shot
We
going."
had Lance doing all the creative.
Man, how many days you ain't got your shot going, bro? We drafted you number 2. Get your shit together.
Russ ain't got his going.
All right, y'all. Hold on. All right. Got some more Woj news.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. So the Lakers maintain interest in Anthony, but do not want to waive a guaranteed player to create a roster spot for him. If a roster spot eventually opens with
Don't they have
LA,
a-
yes, the Lakers are a possible destination for
Hey,
him.
don't they have a roster spot though? I thought they still had a roster spot.
I think Svi is.
No, he's a two-way.
He going to Golden State.
He might be. I think Svi is a guaranteed contract. He was a first round pick, right? Yeah, that's a first round pick.
He going to the Warriors.
Yeah, this looks just like the Boogie situation. This looks just like the Boogie situation.
Booth, is it focused? Is it focused?
Man, you can look directly into the camera.
Carmelo Anthony is going to the Golden State Warriors.
This looks just like the Boogie situation from the summer, where the Lakers had interest,
Hey, Brady,
but
you still got your two-legged goat, though.
but weren't being very aggressive and going out to get the player, and then you lose them to a team like that. This looks just like the situation with Boogie. I don't like the sound of that at all. But I don't get what they mean by eventually opening. Like, what could they do
Who?
to open a roster spot?
The
Trade
Lakers?
somebody?
Bro, I thought the Lakers had a roster spot. I thought they left a roster
We
spot.
got Wade Ingram.
See what I'm saying? Let's just end this.
Oh, man. He going to Golden State, man. That news is coming out in 24 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
Draymond is texting Melo right now.
Yeah, he's definitely
Going to the Warriors.
He's definitely on the phone with Melo.
Don't see. I don't even.
And they've been in LA too for like 3 days now.
Maybe he goes to Portland?
That's a possibility. I can see Dame in LA.
I'm trying to think of another team right now that's Denver. Go back to Denver.
New Orleans. I actually like him with Denver. I told y'all that.
Go back to
I
Denver?
told y'all that a month ago. The Denver situation actually makes a lot of sense.
It does. Go back
But they
to
just
Denver.
got Will Barton back too, and Gary Harris.
See, that's the thing with the teams.
And they young guards.
It's
playing
all
well.
jam.
Beasley's playing well. Monte Morris is playing well. So that'd be a tough adaptation. But yeah, this is looking just like the Boogie situation from the summer.
If Melo don't go to the Lakers,
Bro.
I ain't watching another game of basketball.
Yep, get ready to see number.
Yeah, this looks just like the Boogie situation. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to say this. The Lakers being passive aggressive, going after players, and just players are not just gonna wait anymore. Like we saying that. Like these players are not gonna let the organizations hold them captive. They're just not going to do it.
But so let me ask this question. Let me just ask this question. If you Carmelo Anthony, the trade deadline is February 7th. That's what? 2 weeks away?
Couple weeks.
Yeah, let's just say 2 weeks away, right? What you've been sitting this long.
Yeah.
What is another 2 weeks? Like, do you truly have to rush to make a decision?
Let me tell you something.
No, I'm being free.
No,
Like, I'm being
if I'm sitting and I'm Melo, the best way to work your way into shape is to Golden State. Look at Boogie.
I think that's if he had been playing for the Rockets, like playing basketball,
Yeah.
like in some of these games, I think he may be willing to wait. But he hasn't played basketball in a month.
But again, what's 2 weeks? Like so think about this. Just check this, right? Let's say he does sign with a team, right? The Warriors. Let's just say he signs with the Warriors. There's no guarantee he's going to play within the first 2 weeks, right? And then what's about to happen after the trade deadline? Guess what? It's All-Star break. So you might play a couple games, you might not. What's the difference between waiting? Right, he can wait. He's going to be able, if he waits for LA to make a trade, which if LA is serious about getting Melo, they might make a trade either at the deadline or before the deadline, right? He comes on, he's going to play. We know Melo is going to play. He comes to LA. He's going to play. And then he's going to go, the All-Star break is going to come around. He's going to sit in, and then he's going to be playing even more.
That report might be BS. I'm looking at the roster now, and one of the contracts that they have guaranteed is Isaac Bonga. That's the guy that they drafted in the second round, and that's one of their guaranteed contracts right now. He's only on under contract for $1 million. I can see them dropping him off to pick him up, but they got Caruso and
Come on, they can drop Caruso.
and Jonathan Williams are
Need
on
Caruso right now.
are on the 2-way deals. We don't.
No point.
But yeah, so I mean, it might be BS. It might be for real. I mean, Mo
They
Wagner.
still got interest, right?
Mo Wagner's on here. Yeah, they said they maintain.
They maintaining interest.
So, but yeah, being passive
But that's
aggressive.
what I'm saying.
They're not gonna sign him being passive aggressive though.
But again, to me, he doesn't need to rush. And then you don't need Caruso if Rondo about to come back and Bron about to come back. So you don't need Caruso.
I still like Caruso though.
I don't care. You like Caruso over Melo?
Obviously not, but I wouldn't want them to give him. I'd rather them give up like Jonathan Williams or
He can go too.
Mo Wagner or something.
No, you
like
can't. You
that.
gotta keep Mo Wagner.
I'd rather you give him.
Keep him for what?
Yeah, I'd rather you give
You
him.
picking and choosing that?
We playing 3 centers.
What are you choosing him for?
We don't need him. We already playing 3 centers.
You need a center for the future.
We got 3.
Son, what the, man?
We got 3 centers. We playing 3 centers right now. Get him out of here.
That man going to the Bay. Alright, man. Look, follow us social media, Twitter, Goodfellas87, Instagram, Goodfellas Podcast, spelled with a 3 instead of an E, and like us on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube page. This was interesting. We are going to have to pick up on the superstar conversation. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add?
Oh man, shout out my boy Catch Up, man. I'm rocking his gear today, man. Minimum wage, heartthrob. Check out his page, Instagram, Facebook. He's got gear. Comedian. He's got sports, entertainment.
Entertainment.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of everything on there, man. So check him out, man.
Hey, Will, you got something you want to add?
I'm disgusted over there.
Hey, man, your team was in the Super Bowl, man.
Go Pats, baby.
Yeah,
Go Pats.
I don't have anything I want to add, man. Happy MLK Day. Gonna go enjoy the rest of these NBA games, man. We'll see y'all in the Bay, just like we'll see Melo in the Bay. Until then, we'll holler at y'all next time. Love, live life. Deuces. Nigga going